Trace, did you say we're good to go? Yeah. Okay. We will call the December 13th, 2021 Board of Public Works and Safety to order. Chris will be joining us, our legal counsel, via Teams meeting. I do not believe we have any additions to the agenda, although I will make a comment that we did remove all of our 5G cell tower contemplations for this meeting, given the fact that Chris was unable to attend. So we'll go ahead and move right on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Jeff. Is there a second? Second by Jason. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Consent agenda is approved. Moving on to resolutions, we have a resolution confirming the City of Fisher's road inventory for the Indiana Department of Transportation. Jason.
Good morning. For the record, Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. Before you is our annual submittal to NDOT for the road inventory. This year we have increased our road inventory by approximately 6.9 miles, bringing the total number of center lane miles to 401.117 miles, or sorry, 408.018 miles in 2021. This is just a standard formality process that we submit through NDOT every year, just requesting that the board approve this request.
Any questions for Jason? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Jeff. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to item 6, a request to approve an amendment to the city's traffic schedule. Jason.
And for the record, Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. Again, another year-end item for cleanup. We have throughout the city a number of projects that have occurred. 126th Street interchange, 126th Street Ford Drive, as well as some subdivisions that have come online into the city's inventory. As part of that, we need to perform a traffic schedule update to update the signage so that it can be incorporated into our ordinance, our traffic codes. Just requesting approval of these. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So these are signs that have already been placed due to new construction. This isn't
Correct.
An approval of like a new stop sign placed in a pre-existing neighborhood?
Yes.
Okay. Any additional questions for Jason? See none, is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Jason, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Item 7 is a request to approve the First Amendment to the landscaping agreement. Mr. Steiner.
Yeah, good morning. Eric Steiner, Assistant Director of Public Works Operations. So Wild Ridge Landscape Company was awarded the 2021 landscape contract for $195,538.60. At that time, the landscape contract was a 1-year agreement with an option to extend the contract for an additional 2 years. Wild Ridge Landscape Company submitted 2022-2023 guaranteed pricing of $201,404.76 for each year. Over the past year, we've added several landscaped areas to the Wild Ridge contract, causing their pricing to exceed the 2022-2023 base bid. These areas include portions of mowing of exit 210, State Route 37 at 126th Street, along with weekly trash patrol at these locations. We've also added landscape to the 96th Street median, just west of I-69, as well as the 106th and Cross Point roundabout. These two landscaped areas require weeding, pruning, spring, fall cleanup, typical landscape needs. In total, we're asking to add $65,973.03 to the 2022 base bid, bringing the total 2022 landscape contract to $267,377.79.
So just so I'm tracking this, they would have continued with the current scope of work for an additional $6,000 a year in 2022 and 2023, but then we added these other items to
that is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Gotcha. Are there additional questions for Eric? Is there a way, you know, when we do these new roundabout constructions, is there a way to work in some arrangement where these guys can, either through a amendment to this contract or even just a unit pricing, could just go landscape the new roundabouts?
We're working with engineering currently on that, trying to standardize some of our landscaped areas and roundabouts. Yeah.
Be great.
Yep.
Okay. If there are no other questions, is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Jeff, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Eric. Next is a request to approve the purchase of a cement truck for the Department of Public Works.
Yeah, again, Eric Steiner, Assistant Director of Public Works Operations. As we all are probably aware of this, this past year has proven more difficult to purchase concrete from any local vendor around the Indianapolis area due to the amount of warehouse construction going on, resulting in lost production time for our concrete crew in our neighborhoods. In addition, our procurement of concrete will only worsen with the recently approved infrastructure bill passed by the Senate. In an effort to stay ahead and keep our concrete crew as productive as possible, we're going to make our own concrete at our Eller Road location starting here in the spring of 2022. The last item needed to make this plan successful is to purchase a truck in the order to attach a 3-yard mixer to the back of it. We collected 3 bids with identical specifications from the following 3 companies: Premier Trucking Group, and the total price for that truck was $104,000. FIDA, $114,900, and Broward, $119,500. And if approved, we'd like to move forward with Premier Trucking Group for $104,000.
So is this just the chassis, or does this?
This is the chassis, correct.
Okay.
And then we have a 3-yard hopper in Ohio that will attach to the truck once we get it.
And then you mix it at Eller?
There's a little batch plant that we're purchasing that we're going to install at Eller, and you basically add sand and gravel mixture to this hopper, and then you put your cement in the hopper to get your concrete, and it goes up a conveyor belt. You have a water hose attached to that conveyor belt. It goes into the 3-yard hopper, and it mixes, I think it's like 70 times. It mixes and you're ready to roll down the road. There's a community in Florida that purchased the same piece of equipment, and they had the same issue that we had, and their constituents were saying that they were wasting time. It appeared they were wasting time standing on the side of the road waiting for concrete, but they've actually doubled their linear footage of production by purchasing this equipment, because now there's nothing holding them back from doing their work.
So 3 yards, is that, how many sidewalk panels is that?
3 yards, you're probably 6, 7, 8 yard panels, somewhere in there. And we figure we can do about 15 yards a week with this equipment currently. Now this is, it's not so much for roads.
Right.
But it's
You're not gonna go redo a road with 3 yards.
Yeah, but more for our toe kick, sidewalk toe kick program that we're running.
Right.
We're trying to keep ahead of the game. Because we recently tried to order concrete last week, and they told us we're a month out on concrete. And it's just getting worse. And even then, we might not even get it because rain or delays or whatever, so.
Probably 3 yards at a time probably isn't real exciting for them either, right?
Exactly. And we've exhausted a lot of different avenues. We went to Detroit to see this production in place in Detroit as well. And we're really impressed by the operation of how it works, so.
So 15 yards a week, so like 1 load a day, is that what you're anticipating?
Essentially, yeah.
Because that's the unit's capacity or our ability to handle it?
Our ability to handle, because we tear out as well, demo, prep, and then pour. 6 guys on the crew, so.
Okay. All right, any additional questions? Was it last year, I think I went out and works the sidewalk panels with these guys, and there is a large downtime waiting for concrete.
I'm trying to get away from that.
It's a cliche of the public works guy leaning on a shovel, right?
Yeah, we don't want that.
So, try to eliminate that, that's good. I'll make a motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Eric. Next is a request to approve an amendment to the road resurfacing contract. Jason?
For the record, Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. Before you is an amendment on our road resurface of 2101. This has various roadways that have been completed as part of the 2101 contract. You can see in there the list. I've also provided you a breakdown of a little bit further of that to put it into percentage and cost. Essentially what has happened is we've come into some unforeseen conditions such as base repair, roadway degradation that has occurred a little bit faster due to 37 detour traffic. For example, 126 Lantern Road was not originally in our contract, but we went ahead and resurfaced that, as well as 126 from Lantern to the Nickel Plate Trail, and then from Lantern up to Lantern from 126 up to 131st. The total amount that we are requesting approval on is $340,135.33, bringing the total to apologize.
$2,707,000.
Yep, $2,707,105.02.
Well, I'm glad we were able to get 126 and Lantern roundabout done. That one was in pretty bad shape. So some of these were just opportunities to knock out some additional road work. So I appreciate that. Any questions for Jason? See none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jason, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Next is a request to approve an electronic participation policy for the Board of Public Works and Safety. Chris, I don't know if you want to chime in on this?
Yeah, I do. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
All right. For the record, Chris Greisel, City Attorney. The policy that's before you is dealing with electronic participation of our body going forward. As you guys may recall, at the onset of the pandemic, a lot of rules were waived with regard to the open door law and how members could participate electronically during that time. During the last session, House Enrolled Act 1437 was passed, which set parameters going forward to allow local governing bodies the opportunity to participate electronically during non-emergency times, which is an ability that we haven't had as a local body before the enactment of this legislation, and then also allows us to operate during emergency times under the same protocols that we did back for most of 2020. So in short, during non-emergency times, a member of our board, which because we're a 3-person board, at least 2 members are always going to have to participate in person, but it does allow a 3rd member to participate electronically under certain circumstances. They can't miss more than 50% of the meetings. They can't miss more than 2 meetings being physically present on site. And then the same minute requirements are kept with regards to allowing members who are participating electronically to be seen and heard while they're casting votes. I would tell you that most of this policy that's before you is a straight resuscitation of state law. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room in the scheme that was provided by the General Assembly. But again, it does allow our board to have a little bit of flexibility throughout the regular year. If and when the governor issues an emergency disaster declaration, which we are still currently under, but we are assuming is going to expire here really shortly, or if the mayor would declare a local emergency, that would then allow the board to all participate electronically under the scheme provided by state law. So this will ensure that we at least have a policy going forward to encounter both of those actions. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
What does it say about legal counsel being electronic?
I don't vote, so I can do what I want.
All right. Any questions for Chris? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jason, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Chris. Next item is a request to approve special purchase of a medic unit for the Department of Fire and Emergency Services. Tabitha.
Good morning, Tabitha Miller, Director of Fleet Management. Before you is a resolution for a special purchase for a new medic for fire. The savings is only $3,400, which Chris questioned being a special purchase, but the real savings comes from standardizing our fleet. So all of the medics are exactly the same. It helps the medics, it helps us. Safety, long-term, repair costs. This medic is going to, we haven't determined which one it's going to replace at this time because it's got about an 18 to 24 month leeway on it. That's the reason we're trying to get it ordered as soon as possible. Hopefully things give a little bit and we get it sooner, but
So ordering today, you're expecting 1.5 to 2 years before it shows up?
yes, sir.
And this is the chassis or is this the box?
Both.
Oh, this is a full
Yeah,
unit.
it's a set. I mean, it's the whole medic.
I thought at one point we were trying to buy just the chassis to replace.
We were. We currently, to re-chassis, you want to have the same box. We have 3 front lines that are the same setup. Our 2 reserves are a different manufacturer.
That's why we're
We
special
need to get
purchasing.
another one in, yes. Yeah, to be able to rotate. And we'll be able to do that once, maybe twice, depending on how well the box ages.
I see.
Currently, they're doing great.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay.
And just to further clarify too, one of the rationales for making a special purchase is when we have a substantial discount on what we're purchasing, and Tabitha does a great job of recognizing savings through jumping on bulk bids, taking advantage of group purchasing, and you guys have seen that, throughout the course of the year. There is another exception, and we are recognizing a savings with the purchase of this medic, but there is another exception that allows you to make a special purchase when the compatibility of the equipment, the accessories, or the replacement parts is a substantial consideration in the purchase that you're making. So in combination of the two, Tabitha is able to go ahead and make this special purchase.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Tabitha or Chris? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Jeff, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thanks,
you.
Tabitha. Our final item for this morning is a request to approve special purchase of Omni site devices for the Fisher Sewer Utility. Jonathan.
Good morning, Jonathan Valenta, Assistant Director of Public Works Water Quality. This request is for the purchase and installation of 29 Omni site devices that are to be installed at the soon-to-be acquired 29 HSC lift stations. Omni site, it's a wireless 24/7 equipment monitoring system, provides alarm notification and operation information. And we currently have all of these devices installed on city-owned lift stations. Expenditure is $97,329, and staff recommends the approval of the purchase. Be happy to answer any question.
Is there a provision to cancel if for some reason we're able to?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Any other questions for Jonathan?
So how are these 29 lift stations currently managed or monitored, I should say?
So currently that's through HSC and SAMCO. They use a SCADA system for that. We're currently trying to upgrade our SCADA system to match theirs. This is kind of a stopgap, if you will. But it also is a belt and suspenders approach. SCADA is more for controlling the stations. This is for alarm and operations.
We're still negotiating the final elements of our agreement, and whether or not the SCADA system will be available to us or not is yet to be determined. So this is a belts and suspenders approach to make sure that when we close, Jonathan gets woken up in the middle of the night because the lift station's down, we're able to have that information.
Exactly.
That's your question about cancellation policy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Any additional questions for Jonathan?
No.
Seeing none, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jason, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Jonathan. Chris, are there any other items?
Nope.
Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Jeff, second by Jason, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned, thank you.